Get to writing like free-form poetry, which is that's really exciting to have somebody who doesn't think laterally. They're a ton of fun. At the end of the day, though, I pretty much fall back into Buffy. I mean, she's my girl, and she says the things that need to be said, and then she adds a Y to the end of them. Why are you wearing a trench coat? Is it a thing? Is it a character? Go back. What? Cool, looks cool. I'm so behind and I don't understand half the cosplay that's going on, and it's because I'm super fucking old. Where's Space 1999? That's fresh! That's in my day!
Hello, Mr. Whedon. I just want to start off with complimenting you for joining the ranks of Cheating Roddenberry, Jim Henson, Stan Lee, was one of the pillars of pop culture. My question is that you're obviously going to do at least 2 or 3 more Avengers movies. There's all these other satellite projects. Like Ant-Man, Black Panther, all these that aren't under your control. Is there some kind of consulting element so you can ensure that these people don't go off the rails because they'll eventually become Avengers?
Nothing's under my control. I do actually have a consulting deal with Marvel for not that reason, but it is part of it. I'm involved with all of their movies and a certain TV show. And part of that is making sure that everything lines up and they don't start contradicting each other and all that stuff. So yeah, actually, that's going on. It's really fun too because I get to sort of dip my toe in and sort of have a little Thor time, a little Cap time, and they are, Ant-Man is on the slate already as its own thing. So, and, Edgar Wright is gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it.
Hello. Saw S.H.I.E.L.D. today, it was awesome. But there were these 2 cute, adorable scientists, and I couldn't help but feeling, man, he's gonna kill them soon, or eventually. So now that everyone's onto your game, that if you love this character, I will kill them, how do you write with that in mind? Or do you not care? Maybe you don't care.
I have no intention of killing anybody from the S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot. Liar? Oh, it's like that. All right. Shit's gonna get real. I'm gonna kill him because you said that. Here's the deal. I don't create characters so I can get rid of them. I create characters so I can love them. Every now and then, one of them dies. Usually, there is a very practical consideration behind that I then make jibe with the artistic consideration. If people don't know that I had to kill Wash because of his agent, then now you do. Okay? I've said that before. There was a whole contractual thing, and we were having problems, and the agent said, well, if he dies, then there won't be a contractual thing. And I said, don't ever tell me, And the reason I went, is because when you kill him, for the rest of the movie, you think maybe they're all gonna die. You think maybe he's gonna go Wild Bunch, oh my God, maybe he's just gonna clean the slate, and they're all gonna die. If I didn't kill him, the number of people that I seem to kill and then bring back would be totally embarrassing, would be unforgivable, would be just shitty, irresponsible storytelling. I mean, it's shameless. Oh my God, River's dead. No, she's fine. Oh my God, Simon. No, he's stabbed, but he's fine. It's just like, you couldn't get away with any of that if I hadn't. So, it's not the intention. Sometimes it is necessary. And I do like to do it to someone you care about suddenly, because that's how it happened to me, that's how it happens in life. And the fact that you guys give me so much shit about it means that I'm probably doing it right.
I first want to say how incredible the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot was. Like, phenomenal. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. I just want to ask, how was it like developing Thor and Loki's relationship from the first Thor film, and how was it like to work with Tom and Chris?
Divas. It was a lot of fun and difficult. Particularly because the first film, Loki's such a soulful character. What Ken and Brian did with him, I thought was so cool. But I needed to do something very different, and to come to that was complicated for me. Helped enormously by the great Drew Goddard, who was always like, "If you have a Loki problem, call me. If you have anything to say about Loki, call me. If you're just kind of low key, call me." And he was the one who sort of talked me through the idea. Well, yes, he was this tragic Shakespearean character, but he fell in an abyss, and he's come out the other side, and he's probably going to be, he can be the guy you need him to be. I spent some time talking to Tom and to Chris before I wrote the script. And Chris was very interested in the brother relationship. He has brothers, some of them are famous, and he hates them, and they're evil. Liam is always plotting. And making Liams appear where they're not. But he was really interested in pursuing the brother dynamic. And in Thor 2, I got to spend a little time tweaking some of that and going back to that. And it's always fun because there's always more to say. Because unfortunately, these familial relations, they just, as we've learned from Arrested Development, they just go on and on. And so there's a lot of variations to play. So. I think there's some fun stuff coming up between them in the next one, and that's all I'm saying for now. At all, bye.
I wrote an essay in college this year arguing that Dollhouse is a piece of feminist work. And
I didn't know where that sentence was going.
I wanted to ask you, how do you yourself, and maybe how should I respond when people outrageously say that you can't be a feminist or your work can't be feminist because you're a man?
I have gotten that. How can you answer it? I can't be a woman because I'm a man. Or I guess you can, right? In my day, we had to walk 4 miles through the snow to get transgender surgery. We were grateful for it. I think I just don't think that's a valid comment. I think there's a perspective I can never have, and I'm fully aware of that. But whether or not you're a feminist has nothing to do with that perspective. It has to do only with wishing that one half of the human race could be treated as well as the other half of the human race. But if I have to be on the winning side, I'm just saying. See, I'm not a feminist.
Hi, Josh. I'm curious.
No.
I just blew it.
No.
Sorry. If you want to beat me to death, that's okay. Maybe.
I don't. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's weird too, because I've lined the trunk of my car and everything, and yet I'm just out of the mood.
Regarding when you first started doing Firefly before the pilot would have come out, and you guys started to integrate Chinese as a language, but really it only ever turned into curse words used in almost every sentence everyone said. Was there ever a worry that you were going to be censured or fines would come floating your way before the show even had a chance to be what turned out to be unfortunately unsuccessful?
You mean because of the language? We were told early on that we could not actually curse in Chinese. So, we would say something, there's probably kids here, but a bad word, there would be a bad word. And they would say, you can't say that motherfucking word. And so we would just make up these, explosive diarrhea of an elephant. We just make up something, long and sort of random. So we knew we were, because they told us right up front, you can't curse in Chinese. Chinese people are going to watch this. We're not. But they might. Oh, and little sidebar. I recently met somebody in England from the British Board of Censors, and I had said something about being very surprised that I got the word Quim by them. And he told me, oh no, actually we knew, we loved it.
Yes, I'm a pastor by trade, and I loved Cabin in the Woods. And I have a very direct question. Is Cabin in the Woods a commentary on the evangelical concept of substitutionary atonement?
Gonna have to say no. I'll tell you why. I don't know what you just said. I will also say it may very well be, because these things are designed to have meanings broad enough to encompass people's perspective that I couldn't possibly understand. And I'm not just talking about BYO subtext in the shipping department. I'm talking about, the fact is, like The Matrix, it can be read on many, many levels. Religiously, philosophically, mathematically, it all applies. So maybe, but not deliberately or specifically.
Oh, hi, Joss.
Oh, hi, wow, it's weird. This is what they call a meet cute.
Okay, so you get to take one of your characters from your franchises and put them on the Avengers. Who are you gonna pick?
Go around, let the man talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be Andrew. Just one Andrew Thor scene, and my life is complete.
Hi, Joss. I was curious to know how you feel starting from Buffy, which, if I'm not wrong, you started in college, to now being a god of Comic-Con.
I like where that sentence went. I don't really know if there was a question in it. How do I feel about having succeeded in the thing that I wished to do? I feel just fine. So I'm a little sad. I'm always sort of a little sad. But we don't have to talk about that. But it's harder I can't walk the floor in the same way, and I haven't been able to sign anything because my resources, I'm so tapped out, and I have to look at people and look, I'm sorry, I have to go away. And I feel like I'm disappointing people. I used to be able to sign everything. I used to have unlimited reserves of energy, and that seems to have gone away, and I feel bad about that. And complain-wise, that's it. Are you fucking kidding? I'm a writer, okay? We stand in the corner in the dark in the garret and we're pathetic, and everybody thinks Humphrey Bogart just made that shit up. We don't exist. And then I start Buffy, and internet communities like the Bronze start, and all of a sudden, I'm a writer talking to 5,000 people who give a shit about me. Oh my God, are you kidding? I didn't dream about this, because this didn't exist. So, beyond my wildest dreams, yeah. Not my wildest. That's disgusting.
Hi, Joss. You're my hero. It's simple. I've been wondering, how do you find time, or how are you going to find time to do stuff like Avengers with like Dr. Horrible? I love both works, and I always want more, basically.
Yeah, I don't. It's great. Because I did S.H.I.E.L.D. And I took too many things. I took too many cookies, and I can't eat them all. And so Dr. Horrible keeps getting pushed, and I keep feeling bad about that. I feel great about the fact that I'm able to do stuff like the Avengers, then Much Ado and Dr. Horrible, these tiny little things that are ridiculously rewarding, and that end up speaking to people way more than I think they're going to. I'm enormously privileged to be in both those camps, but I gotta slow down. It's gonna start, you're gonna notice. You're gonna be like, didn't you write that already? Then there's gonna be a cut down on the internet of me repeating myself.
Hey Joss, my name is Matt, and have you ever considered writing, directing an animated feature?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. All my life I wanted to do that. I love animated films. But I don't want to do, I feel a little bit like all the CGI animated films are the same film. I just feel slightly like the rhythms, and the sidekicks, and the parent issues, and I just feel like I would love to see one of these movies made more of a sort of PG-13, kind of a tougher, more adolescent, like adventure story that isn't just we're wacky, or we're wacky too. We've got to stop the problem. They're fun, and some of them are beautifully made, and some are better than others, but I really do feel there's a sameness to what we're turning out. And then you look at the animation in Japan, and it's so adult and so, obviously Miyazaki is, really